The night began as a standard early season home fixture, but quickly became something else, an initiation ritual for the newly renovated Santiago Bernabeu. Fans arrived with the familiar mix of expectation and superstition. But what unfolded inside those stands proved to be more than another result on the table. A razor-tight 1-0 win, decided by a penalty, should have been the headline. Yet, as the final whistle blew, people were talking about a different kind of victory, the stadium itself. Watching from the stands, Xabi Alonso, a figure who bridges Real Madrid's glorious past and its coaching present, lingered longer than most. He sought out club president Florentino Perez and, in a short but loaded exchange, offered a blunt, almost astonished observation. That the new Bernabeu doesn't just look spectacular, it sounds different, louder, sharper, more capable of imposing itself on a game. That simple line, "Everything sounds louder," is the kind of sentence coaches and players will repeat, because it hints at an advantage that can be measured not in architecture, but in pressure, heartbeat, and decision-making. Think for a moment about the anatomy of a football match. There's the tactical plan on the whiteboard, the individual battles on the pitch, and then there's the intangible, crowd noise, the roar after a clearance, the communal gasp after a penalty is awarded. Those moments bend outcomes. When a stadium amplifies those reactions, it doesn't just boost the home team's morale. It actively changes the environment opponents must perform in. On a night when Kylian Mbappe stepped up and converted the match's decisive penalty, there was a peculiar hush before the kick, and a volcanic release after it. That emotional arc, silence, pressure, eruption, now happens in a space engineered to make those swings feel bigger. Xabi saw that and, with the authority his name carries, told the president what many fans were already sensing. This venue has been redesigned to turn matches into theatre. And theatre changes psychology. For rivals and coaches, that is both a warning and a challenge. Preparation used to be about formations and set pieces. Now it will increasingly include rehearsals for crowd pressure, for managing silence, for keeping composure when 80,000 voices are layered by a stadium that amplifies every fleeting doubt. Visiting managers will need new tactics, earlier subs to settle nerves, clearer on-field leadership to drown out the din, perhaps even rehearsed plays to cut through the emotional noise. For Real Madrid, the payoff is obvious. The Bernabeu can become a fortress in the truest sense, not only because of capacity or facilities, but because of the emotional architecture that now rewards intensity and punishes the timid. Beyond the tactical shift, there's a narrative angle that matters to the club's identity. Real Madrid has always sold itself as more than a team. It's an institution that commands respect. The renovated Bernabeu, praised publicly by figures like Xabi Alonso and acknowledged by Florentino Perez, completes a story of renewal. The club not only modernised its home, but also sharpened its cultural muscle. Fans feel seen, players get immersive backing, opponents must adjust. It's marketing and psychology operating in the same space. The first night was a test run that revealed how quickly a stadium can become a player in its own right. Of course, the ultimate verdict will come over time, on nights when narrow margins decide European ties, when referees judge split-second challenges, and when young players face hostile atmospheres. But one image from this match is already hard to shake. A coach-turned-commentator pausing at the exit to tell the club president, with equal parts surprise and approval, that the place sounds different. Spectators at home will retell the story not because of the score, but because something fundamental shifted. The stage was upgraded, and a respected voice declared it a weapon. If stadium acoustics and atmosphere can tilt outcomes, then Real Madrid has just invested in a new kind of competitive edge. The penalty that night mattered, of course, but the louder truth is that from this point forward, every minute at the Bernabeu will carry more weight, more pressure, and far more possibility. And Xabi Alonso's short remark may be the first whisper of a very noisy era.